Welcome to another Moments in Time. It is April 29, and our caption for today is In the Middle of the Storm. The piercing screams jolted me out of my thoughts and back into reality. The plane had taken off, and my ears were now at the mercy of the cutest little brother and sister, no older than 5 or 6. They were sitting next to each other. Their parents were seated on the adjoining row and were busy trending, on their phones and tending to the 2 other siblings. By now, everyone within earshot was smiling, some craning their necks to get a look at the source of the commotion. I couldn't help but think, they'd make great cheerleaders for my husband's favorite sports team. Yes. What's happening? Why can't we see anything? Are we going to die? The little girl shouted frantically, her words tumbling all at once. Die? I thought to myself. No one is dying here. I'm going home to bury my father. It looks like we're going to crash, her brother exclaimed as the plane climbed through a blanket of clouds. From I'm too young to die to Mom, tell him to stop, the siblings kept the drama alive, and I braced myself for an adventure. The truth is, dear listener, adults feel that way too. Maybe not the too young part, but certainly the not wanting to die part. That's exactly what happened to 12 men in Mark chapter 4. Moments before, the journey across the sea had become calm and uneventful. Life seemed perfectly normal. Does that seem like where you are right now? But with no signal of a storm on the horizon, trouble came. Isn't that how it happens to you, dear reader, and to me? Life proceeds as, planned, smooth and predictable, until, without warning, we are blindsided. A furious storm arose, and the winds threatened to capsize the boat. The disciples were at the mercy of the sea's fury, their vessel helpless against the waves. Panic set in, and the cries of desperation started. They might have to prepare for the worst. Is there a situation that you are facing now that has kind of plunged you in the middle of a storm? Where is he? Someone shouted. He's in the stern, another cried out. Master, Master, their voices cried as they searched out for Jesus. And there he was, resting peacefully on a cushion, seemingly unaware of the chaos around him. But no, he wasn't just resting, he was asleep. At that moment, I couldn't help but envy him. I could use some sleep right now, I murmured as I adjusted my neck into a more comfortable position. Ping! The familiar sound of the fasten seatbelt sign echoed through the cabin. The flight attendant reminded us of its importance as we hit a series of air pockets. Silence finally settled over the aircraft, and our little friends were fast asleep. Just about an hour to go until we landed, and I returned to my thoughts. How could anyone sleep through a storm like that? Perhaps the disciples were overreacting. Maybe the situation wasn't as bad as it seemed, but we know otherwise, dear listener. The storm was real. The raging was real, and it was relentless. But I want to encourage you today that if you feel that you're in the middle of a storm, know that Jesus was aware of the situation and he wasn't afraid. He was actually asleep through it. What does that mean? It's a secret that he wants you to find out today. It's a truth that could determine how you survive when you go through your storm without warning. So again, be encouraged that he is right there in the middle of your storm. Thanks for joining me again for another Moments in Time. I look forward to connecting with you soon. Please like, share, and subscribe. I am your host, Liz August.